Hey everybody, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit about RVTV today. We're in Canada now, and it's just, I have to get another receiver set up for the bedroom here. Um, Now you can, in the States, they have HD TV that's broadcast in a lot of different areas. Some channels up to 69 or so we've come across, and some places you only get one, but for the most part they do broadcast free TV. Now you can hook up cable to these trailers outside, of course. I think all the newer ones have that. And in Canada there is no really free HD TV. There's most places you'll get one channel, maybe three if you're close to a city, and one of them might be French, but that's basically, you're pretty limited in Canada. So you can use DVDs, of course, to entertain yourself, or you can, if you have Wi-Fi, and if it's pay-as-you-go Wi-Fi, I wouldn't recommend hooking up to your, so we have a Chromecast that we can hook up, and you can watch over your phone onto the TV if you have a smart TV, or HDMI set up on your TV. So we have satellite that we had installed, and I was just gonna show you some of how that works here. So we have a Winegard Shaw Direct satellite dish. It's a Traveler, and it's stationary on the roof. Of course, you can hook up portable ones that you can set them up outside. You get portable ones with automatic. They'll find the satellites, and some of them are manual, so there's quite a few different options. This one happens to be automatic. So now this is the same setup as we have at the house, so you can use your receiver right from the house, or if you want to just put an extra one in, it just goes on your Shaw Direct bill here. Now I know there is Bell that's just coming to Manitoba now, but it's pretty limited to what satellites you can get in Canada too. So now some of them, they claim you can't use them in the States, but this one you can. Now to get this on, this takes the initial start of it takes a good roughly 15 minutes. But once it's set up, I'm going to push this button in and go show you how it finds the satellite. Let me push the button properly. There, power on. It's going to connect to the satellite. This one has two satellites that it locks onto. I'm just going to head out. Well, it's going to set itself up, but it triangulates the satellite, so it's going to make all kinds of maneuvers. It's going to peek straight up and get its bearings. It has its own GPS on it, so I'm going to let you see it from up top. So it's going to, you miss a little bit of the action, but like I said, it takes quite a while for the initial start. So I'm winded. So we're up on the roof, and it's gonna lock on. Like I said, it takes a little bit of time for the initial start, but in the meantime, well, if you've never seen a 27.5 roof before, this is what's up here. So see if I can get this back some. There's a roof rack. That's your sink mat there. There's There's a large skylight in the kitchen there. This is a 13,500 watt or BTU air conditioner. These trailers are only 30 amps. Now, part of this setup, when they talk about the satellite, and it's pretty vague. I mean, they say satellite ready, but outside where I'll show you the satellite coaxial site there. So out here on the street side, or just above the docking station on the 27.5L Arctic Fox, you can hook up your satellite dish if you have a portable satellite dish, or if you're in a park and they have cable, or if you're at home or whatever, you can hook that up outside. Now you can plug cable in there, or a portable satellite dish. Now this one is, like I said, it's a Winegard. It had one of the best ratings for picture quality and everything, as far as Canada goes in any event. So it is might already be locked in already. We had it set to the satellite earlier in the month. It's May the 3rd today, 2017. You can see here we're just starting to get buds on the trees. But it was snowing last week. So in any event, they don't tell you where the actual wires are for these the satellite dish, but we found it inside the fridge. There's a cavity in there, so it took a little while to try and track it down and find out where everything went, but we managed to get it, so we didn't have to drill any big holes in the roof to get the wires down. So now, like I said, it's got its own GPS. It does give a good picture, same as in the house. Now, this unit is not cheap, I can tell you that much. And it's worse in Canada. So I'm going to show you how it closes up. So everything included on this, there's an extra part there you have to buy. So when you look up pricing on them, it gives you a part. It's actually two different parts you have to buy for it. So you got to keep that in mind too. And I believe this one's over $4,000 in Canada. No, they're about $2,300 in the States, and I think you can get them for like $16 if you put it in yourself, or $16 to $2,000. But you pretty much should know what you're doing on that. Now I guess while I'm up here, these are omnidirectional antennas that come with this Arctic Fox. So there's no crank or anything. This one, like, they're not that thick or anything. This one actually bent in the wind. So you can see it moving some. I looked for them a little while. I was in the States. I didn't come across them. I didn't look very hard. It seems to still work, so I just left it at that. Okay, so we're back inside now on this you can see, or maybe you can't see, it's locked onto two satellites, 111 and 107. Those are the Canadian satellites for Shaw, and the receivers, like I said, you get them out of the house. Now there's two ways to shut these things off. If you shut them or push both these buttons here, the select and the power, it'll shut off and it'll stay in position the way it is outside, locked on the satellites. With the, if you're going to be traveling, then you would just push the on-off button or power button, and it'll stow away. So I'll push that one, and I'll try and get outside in time. See, it says power unit in progress. It actually said power off in progress. Getting old and blind. So it's gonna, that's what they call peaking there, and then it'll set itself up at the right angle before it locks down. It's always good to have TV when you're camping, especially if you're traveling, and you can find some weather stations. If you're on HDTV or this one, you can go to some. Of course, we get mostly American programming in Canada. There's some Canadian channels all on their own. So if you can get radars and pictures on the news and on the weather channels, I mean, that always comes in handy if you know what's going on a week ahead of time, especially when you're going through Tornado Alley, or, I mean, tornadoes. We get tornadoes up here too, Manitoba, just not to the extent or severity that normally as they would get down in the southern United States there. So this should close down now. It's facing the right direction. Now they tell you there's I don't know, God, some unreal number, 200 stations or something, but a lot of them, Canada, they're all the same stations. They're just an hour apart, and so you probably get about 50, 60 of them. And the other ones are radio stations on there, but they call them channels, and that's what you get for it. So that's how it sets up and locks down when you're going to travel. And I hope this you find a little bit interesting.